Madeleine is a beautiful, bright, funny and caring little girl. She is so special. Please, please do not hurt her. Please don't scare her. Please tell us where to find her.
Police are investigating the disappearance of a 3-year-old Leicestershire girl in Portugal amid fears she's been abducted. Madeleine McCann went missing last night.
Right time to fly should be about 2.5 hours. We expect to cruise at 37,000 feet where conditions are forecast to be nice and smooth today.
This story broke May the 3rd, 7:30 in the morning. We heard on the radio that a British girl had gone missing. By 8 o'clock that morning we knew it was a Leicestershire girl. For the last 6 months now we've covered the story every single day. And it got to the point after 4 or 5 months, pretty soon after Jerry and Kate became our Guidos, that there was a lot of rumour, a lot of speculation, and the fact was getting separated from the fiction. So we thought it was important to come here to Praia da Luz.
This is where the story started, and this is probably where the story will finish.
In every movie you need a bad guy, and bad guy here was the Portuguese police.
Portuguese law and the Portuguese system is different from other countries.
She was crying, she was distraught.
And so you speak to people out here and you start to see that there is another side.
Whatever the outcome, they have got to live with this for the rest of their lives.
Do you think while you've been here that your views have changed?
Yeah.
In what way?
Again, I feel like I need to be careful now.
Hey, the laws here are pretty damn tough.
Oh God, I have to be so careful about what I'm saying. It's not as straightforward as it seems.
And it's almost like we're trying to forget. Madeleine McCann went missing last night while her parents were having a meal while on holiday in a resort in the Algarve. This family friend speaking on GMTV earlier says the family's frantic.
They've been looking themselves, they walked along the hedgerows and they've been out shouting, but there's nothing else they can do unless they get support from the police over there or the police here.
That's Jill Rennick. She told GMTV the shutters on the hotel room had been broken and the family believed their daughter's been taken.
Well, as you can imagine, as a mother, it's the worst thing for anybody to happen. She's been taken. She's been taken, that's all they know.
Nobody knew 6 months ago exactly what kind of global impact this was going to have. And it was a scary place to be because we were all aware that morning of the distress that these two parents were under. On arriving on the scene, there were a lot of very bleary-eyed residents still walking around. They hadn't even been to bed. They'd been involved in this fingertip search on the beach the night before. The hotel manager was just exhausted, shattered. He was beside himself, giving a few interviews early that morning. The police were just sealing off the area, starting to dust the fingerprints. The family were still there when I arrived, and Mrs. McCann was being led out of the apartment, flanked by two females. I can't say if they were family members or if they were friends, but if they weren't family members, they were obviously very, very good friends. She was crying, she was distraught, just distraught. And as you can only imagine, she didn't know where to start to put her faith or her trust, because when you're removed from your familiar surroundings and from a police force that you know and trust, and from a judicial and legal system that you know and trust, and even from things like child protection services that you know and trust, you don't know where to begin. And that is exactly the shape of what I saw that morning. I just saw a shadow of a woman who didn't know where to begin.
Over in the UK, there has been a lot more lately, over the last few months, there's been a lot more focus on the investigation. It seems to be moving away from actually worrying about Madeleine, how she is, what's happened to her, what's going on. Over here, what would you say? Do you think that people in the forefront of their minds are still thinking of Madeleine, or
I think they are.
Has the investigation eclipsed that?
I don't know, it's only by virtue of what I do for a living, but people are always approaching the subject, and frankly, I'm talking to you now, but now since the 3rd of May, you know, I'm getting a little bit tired of people asking the same questions, because the truth remains, I have to say, okay, we don't know. And if you ask the Chief of Police, they don't really know, and if they do, by the secrecy laws here, they're not allowed to tell you anyway. And I think what you've got to accept is, we are here in Portugal, they chose to come here. It's a very safe place, it's a great place to be. Look around, the climate is fantastic, the people are very honest, respectful, polite, and we're not used to this sort of thing, and we need an answer. We need an answer, and I repeat, from that someone who knows. And the sooner, the better. Let's all get back on with our lives. Rothley can return to being, from what we've seen, and I've not been there, a really nice Leicestershire village. We think we're the same.
Breaking news this hour, and Kate McCann, the mother of missing Leicestershire girl Madeleine McCann, expects to be made a formal suspect today.
Kate and Jerry are happy to help the police in their investigations to find their daughter Madeleine, as they have been since she was taken.
Please, please do not hurt her. Please don't scare her. Please tell us where to find her.